Sometimes you gotta know when your time is up. I know when mine is up, and it's not today!
Hey guys, MasakoX here. The now former current April Fool What If is continuing at a decent click with something that was quite unusual and initially quite irreverent. This guy getting stronger? His bluster not being all for show, and him actually having substance? Yeah, I know. It's pretty bonkers and very much worthy of the traditional April Fool moniker. This identification gave us some real freedom to really push the boundaries of what we can usually do. So do expect some branching out from what you could usually anticipate from a What If, but it will still feel like Dragon Ball, of course, if that's what you're worried about. It all settles around a man. A man who could talk the talk, but when it came to the proverbial walking, he could barely crawl. We pick him up and make him eat that figurative horse, as in this What If story, we ask the question of what might happen if Hercule from the Satan Dojo took the initiative and took it upon himself to train like Goku did with the help of the Turtle School. The story started right after Goku had had his greatest victory in defeating the son of King Piccolo. Now settling into a life in the woods with a son of his own, Goku wasn't around for our dragon team to interact with and spar with for a long time, so the next best thing for our hero to do was to find the people behind his prodigious title win at the tournament. With Roshi and Krillin's assistance, he was able to come back against the fiend who had felled his own master of the Satan Castle, Mercenary Tao by the way, and claim the title for himself. A true redemption arc that wasn't made up entirely. Tao had ended his master. That was one of those retcons that Toriyama made up post-Z, and I love it. It adds so much lore to Hercule's story. Now with the Dragon team backing him up instead of making fun of him behind his back, Hercule was able to go from strength to strength, and even get the win on Raditz with his own forward-thrusting power, which, if you remember that particular part, got pretty dark, but it was a pivotal moment for our guy's development, and realizing just exactly what he could do for our heroes in this story. It wasn't just punching real hard, key control was important as well. No mirrors, smoke screens, or light tricks here. Key, punch, it's all in the mind. In the last part, our heroes had returned from Namek and had to find a way to stop Frieza, who was bearing down on them, seeking false revenge for his pet monkeys. Well, okay. It was mainly out of mild curiosity, but yeah, for Frieza it filled up a Thursday. He never really got the hang of Thursdays, to be honest. After trying to think their way out of a problem with Bulma's special beam cannon, our heroes had to take down Frieza the hard way, the traditional way. And initially, that looked like it would get results. However, when the third form of Frieza arrived, it really turned the tide in the Emperor's favor. With Piccolo out of energy and nobody else nearly as powerful as the three main Dragon team members at the moment, Frieza, quite honestly, yeah, he's got this.
Isn't this nice, fools? I see the appeal of this winning position that you had for a fleeting moment. I rather like it myself. So much so, in fact, that I will grace you with one more transformation to really turn the screw on this planet's fate.
With that, third form Frieza goes right out the door, gets into position and begins to power up. Hercule has had enough of all of this transformation junk and proceeds to power up himself and try another Raditz-ending move while Frieza is occupied. He leaps up and powers up a Kamehameha from the feet and flies at the speed of sound at Frieza's head. It connects. It does knock the Emperor out of his transformation, but it doesn't hurt him that much, and yeah, it kind of stops everything in their tracks. Frieza is looking around frantically.
Who did that? Who has the gumption to stop me mid-transfer? You.
He grabs Hercule by the scruff of his neck.
How dare you interrupt such a thing? Have you no shame?
Shame? For you? Not one single iota.
He spits in Frieza's face, which causes the tyrant to punch him in the gut and slam him to the floor, causing a huge crater.
You talk too much. Have a little lie down there, would you? Besides, you could watch this up close.
The power-up continues, and eventually, we see final form Frieza.
Wiki, you are a slugger there, aren't you?
He picks Hercule up from the ground and shakes him around.
Come on now, this is no time to be sleeping. Oh, I think I broke him. Monkeys, I think this fool is damaged beyond repair.
He tosses Hercule at Goku's feet, and there is no response. Hercule isn't spluttering or quipping or anything like that. Yeah, he's gone. Krillin is left horror-struck, but then he is caught in his own problem.
Well, aren't you going to help him? Some friends you are. I mean, look at the state of him.
Frieza's pointing in the direction of Hercule's body, but instead of just a finger, a beam penetrates Krillin's chest.
Oops! Did I do that? Go!
He's down too. His ki pretty much extinguished himself. Goku is left livid, and you know what's coming. He begins to seethe in anger, and after a loud scream which causes the ground to quiver for miles around him, all this thanks to his potential being unlocked, he unlocks another power, Super Saiyan.
I will make you suffer!
Frieza, who you remember can't sense energy, is left confused at this power.
What happened to you? Where's your black hair gone? What is this?
Goku doesn't care. This is all new to him, sure, but he's not bothered about such things as hair color. All he's bothered about is tearing this menace limb from limb.
You've really done it, Frieza. I will see to it that you hurt nobody else.
Frieza is laughing at all this bluster he has heard countless times from other upstart warriors, but what he hasn't heard before is the sound of his lungs expelling all the air inside of them as Goku elbows Frieza in the chest before sending him slamming into the ground head first. Goku, he's completely manic right now. Meanwhile, Piccolo can sense all of this going on from Capsule Corp. Since he is still recovering energy, he really cannot help at all directly, especially with Final Form Frieza around. But he also felt Krillin and Hercule's energies disappearing. Oh, only Bulma hadn't dragged him into this foolish plan. He could have helped. Those two might still be alive. He gives Bulma a glare which could cut mountains in twain.
Are you happy? Because of you and your stupidity, Hercule and Krillin are... they're...
With Bulma left lost for words, Piccolo has to think of a plan. He can't fly very far just yet, so he can't get to Korin's for a sensu bean, but before anything else can be thought, Kami calls.
Piccolo, what's going on down there? Why are you asking me? You're the Guardian of Earth, aren't you? Surely you'll be able to see what's going on.
Now's not the time for bickering. We need to stop this from destroying the planet.
Why don't you just contact King Kai and get him to ask the Namekians to summon Porunga and stand by? Let's hope Goku can end this before more lives are lost.
Piccolo is still getting used to this new fused feeling of caring more for people, but right now he is steering the ship, despite having no forward motion energy-wise. Back at the fight, Goku is hammering down his dominance on Frieza, who has no answer to this power. As he is being pounded senseless, stop it, he begins to think of a past thought. This yellow monkey. Might this be that supposed legendary Super Saiyan that was talked about amongst the rank and file? You know, the one that he tried to quash with blowing up planet Vegeta? He hoped not, but it was very much looking like that was the case. As the fight continues, Frieza is slowly building his energy up, but Goku is responding with every single move. This is starting to anger the Emperor, who eventually has had enough. He starts to power up a massive black and yellow energy blast, which he is pointing squarely at the planet.
It's been illuminating, Monkey, really it has. But this galaxy isn't going to rule itself. I must put a cap on this encounter, and what better way to do it than with a bang?
He is looking angry and crazy, and the orb is getting bigger and bigger, almost dominating the entire horizon. Everybody, even King Kai, now briefed in, is left terrified.
No, don't you be that low, Frieza!
Piccolo is starting to lose hope. He was too late, and there was nothing he could do. Well, wait, there's a new energy. What? This felt weird. What was that? Gohan? Frieza begins to pull his finger downwards, but halfway down, he stops. He looks down to see a hand poking out of his midriff. That's weird. As well as the purple vital fluids. That's not right. He turns around to see a black-haired warrior wearing damaged leathers and a blue undershirt. It looked like the other monkey he was fighting.
Who?
The man doesn't answer, but shifts his head, which makes Frieza look in his direction. His energy ball. It had been stolen by someone else. A woman, also with black hair, and just as short, was lifting it away and then shouting,
I'll be having this if you don't mind,
before drop-kicking it off into the sky and several seconds later, out in space, it explodes, outshining the sun. Yeah, that was close. The man, still having not uttered a single word, pulls his hand backwards and then moves upwards, raising Frieza above his head, and then, with another glow, turns golden like Goku. He charges his hand with ki, which causes Frieza's torso to shine yellow, and for him to cower with fear.
Wait, stop! No! We can talk this out! Don't do this! I can make it real! Sploosh!
Frieza's no more. To coin Chaozu,
Wow, brutal!
the man looks up to see Frieza, now in pieces, settle around the scene. Not interested. He wipes the goop off his jacket and powers down. The girl lands at his side.
Trying to act all cool again?
The man, who had been quite stoic up to now, breaks his serious tone and blushes.
Did it work? Well, why don't you ask the nightlight over there?
They turn to Goku, still shining gold himself, and in his traditional battle stance. Piccolo is left without words, and now instead of looking frustrated, he is confused beyond belief. Bulma, still reeling from Krillin and Hercule's losses, asks what happened.
Gohan. He just eviscerated Frieza in one move. What's going on?
Bulma blinks before muttering.
What? But Gohan's at home with Chi-Chi.
Who's the one who can sense energy here? That was definitely Gohan, only his energy felt different, more mature.
Without another word, Piccolo musters just enough energy to be able to fly in the direction of it.
Hey, where are you going?
Shouts Bulma, Piccolo ignoring her. He had had enough of her. The duo begin to talk to Goku, calming him down slowly to the point where Goku powers back down to base form. Tired and thought-wise drained, Goku himself is trying to figure out the situation. The two are about to say their names, but then they stop. Well, that's not important. What matters is that we are here to deliver some things. They then go into their mission brief and explain to Goku that in 4 and a bit years' time, 2 androids will descend on the Earth and work their evil magic upon it, on the population. These 2 are the only members of the Dragon Team left that survived. But Masako! How did Goku fall? He wasn't in space, so no heart virus, and also he has Super Saiyan! Yes, he did, but even that wasn't powerful enough to stop these monsters, and it was harder, without Vegeta there, to also be a Super Saiyan. Nobody was safe. The only way they can be safe is to train hard right now. With that information now delivered, the pair lighten up a little bit and ask if everything else is okay here, and if everyone is happy. Goku nods despite being confused mostly at the sudden change of topic. Well, that's good. At least one place is happy. We must be going. Remember, you must train. The pair then fly off around a clearing and disappear from view and energy reading. Goku then turns his attention to his fallen friends and what to do. Piccolo then arrives to hear what happened.
Where's Gohan?
Gohan? Gohan's not here. He's at home.
But I sensed him.
Nope, not here. Chi-Chi would never let him get caught up in this.
Who was here with you?
Well, some guy and girl. They were pretty strong. They were getting quite ragged looking, but they sure saved my bacon.
Piccolo ponders this, but is left even more bamboozled by this. Meanwhile, the pair are getting inside their time machine and preparing to head home. You think they will listen? Dad seemed quite blindsided.
Gohan, I think they'll be fine. If it makes you feel any better, we'll come back and give them a hand.
The man nods. Okay, Videl, let's do that. First, let's go home before those monsters do any more damage. With that, future Gohan and Videl head home. Not long after, Krillin and Hercule are revived by Porunga and filled in with what happened. Goku was pretty respectful towards Hercule for doing something so bold to try and stop Frieza mid-transformation, but unfortunately it didn't work. However, Hercule was left very rattled by this. He had been careless, and it cost him his life. Had it not been for the Dragon Balls, Videl would have been an orphan. He can't be that careless again. He got lucky, and now was the time to correct this mistake and make sure no more tin cans come to mess up his family and friends. Ever. We got ourselves a motivated Hercule going into the Android saga here. Coming up, another day. So what do you guys think? Do you feel this will give Hercule enough resolve to bring down the gap between him and Goku? How exactly will he do it without Yardrat or any spacey things to hand? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later!